Hello, we're your North Central Regional Improvement Network. And today we're going to talk about root cause analysis. I'm Kathy Anderson. I'm your System Improvement Program Supervisor Lead from OSPI.
I am Bill Eagle, the Associate Director of Student Success and Learning at ESD 171.
And I'm Don Williams, and I'm the Continuous Improvement Partner for ESD 171 from OSPI.
We believe that all change begins with understanding your current reality and how that relates to the vision of where you would like to go. But still, the question, how do we improve and move further towards that vision, is one we have to grapple with. We believe that the process starts by identifying priority concerns. A good priority concern should be specific enough to address a gap in your system without implying a particular solution in the early stages. It should reflect the values of your organization and should also be something that is within your organization's control to impact. Our version of the improvement journey looks something like this, and you can see it starts with developing a deep understanding of the problem you're trying to solve and the system that is producing that problem.
To do this, we have to become system detectives and dig a little bit deeper. And like a detective investigating a crime, who pins up all the clues that can be found on a corkboard and tries to make connections that link these clues when solving the mystery, we need to carefully investigate our systems for clues that lead to the keys for improvement to create that goal or a priority concern that you really want to address. You might start by brainstorming issues with your team and then affinity grouping similar ideas to come up with a focusing concern. To help you consider all the angles, you may want to reference the 5 causal categories. The more specific that you can be, the more useful this protocol will be to you.
So today we're going to offer you a technique called the 5 whys. This was originally developed by Toyota in the 1930s. Now it does have some advantages. It allows you to identify the cause of the problem, not just the symptoms. It's simple, easy to use. It assists you doing things without considering the root cause of the problem. So we got to make sure that you stay focused. Now we're going to give you a great example here about the Jefferson Memorial. We've got a little video for you to watch, so please enjoy.
Years ago, the stone exterior was deteriorating at the Jefferson Memorial in Washington, D.C., a popular monument in the United States. Repairing the stone or painting over the worn areas was too expensive. So park rangers turned to root cause analysis and started asking why.
Why was the stone deteriorating?
High-powered sprayers were being used to wash the memorial every 2 weeks.
Why were high-powered washings needed every 2 weeks?
Because of bird droppings.
Asking why stopped because it seemed the cause was found. Workers put nets around the building, but they were unsightly, and the birds found ways around them. So it was back to the drawing board, or the 5 whys.
Why are there so many birds?
They come to feed on spiders.
Why are there so many spiders?
They feed on insects at night.
Why are there so many insects?
They're attracted by lights that shine on the memorial at night.
With a new cause found, questions stopped, and a plan was created to reduce the amount of time the memorial spent in the spotlight at night, and it worked. The insects were reduced by 90%, and with the root cause removed, the excessive cleaning was no longer needed. An unexpected benefit was a cost savings realized by using less electricity. This highlights how root cause analysis can involve trial and error, and how the 5 whys isn't always limited to exactly 5 questions. Read more about root cause analysis and the Jefferson Memorial story at the link below.
So let's move on. Let's talk a little bit more about the trial and error. Here's an example about why the Titanic sank. First of all, why did it sink? Because, of course, water came in the hull. Why? Because there were openings in the hull. Why? Because the ship hit an iceberg. Why? Because the ship's turning and maneuvering was ineffective. Well, why was that? because the lookouts identified the iceberg much too late. So now let's move this forward. And as we were just talking about, you can also come up with multiple different root causes. So in the first column is our original Titanic example. And in the second column, as you can see, the first 4 whys give you the same answer. But the last answer, either the lookouts identified the iceberg too late, or they could say the ship was speeding too fast. So you can see you can have different answers, but at that point, then you can go ahead and pick one and research that and act on it and see if that resolves your issue.
Here's an education example about a bilingual program where students were not exiting the program within 5 years. The question was asked, why aren't students exiting the program within 5 years? And the initial answer was that the current model for support is not sufficient. Why? The staff felt it was insufficient as a sole support, that additional tier 1 support was needed. When they asked why there, they found teachers were counting on the ESL support staff to deal with the issues of the bilingual students because they felt they didn't have the time or the skill to adequately support their multilingual learners in the tier 1 setting. When they asked why did teachers feel that way, many said that the core teachers needed training on effective tier 1 strategies for multilingual learners. The district asked, why is that? And decided that many new teachers had been hired since the last district-wide training on supporting multilingual learners. So starting with the priority concern that students weren't exiting the bilingual program, they were able to get to a potential root cause around a training that was needed for staff. Some key considerations for using this strategy to find root causes. You need to get the right team involved in the process. The information that you get from the 5 why process will only be as good as the knowledge of the people that are involved in the process. So we recommend that you put together a team that is directly associated with the problem that you're trying to address. And also avoid solutionitis. Sometimes people have solutions just looking for problems. When we start with a perceived solution in mind, the process can get thwarted easily. Stay open-minded and let the process lead you forward.
Root cause analysis strategies are typically used when something's not going well, but they can also be used to investigate when something is going well and you want to isolate those factors leading to successes. To learn more about additional root cause analysis strategies and improvement science, contact us or reach out to your regional ESD.